Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So my live reaction and player rating slides following Chelsea 4, Hull City 0, or the other way around, as I should say, Hull City 0, Chelsea 4 in the 4th round of the FA Cup. We are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. With shock horror, we can count. But yeah, a good night. You know, we got the dub. We got a double hat trick. How often does that happen? We got a hat trick of goals and we got a hat trick of assists. Now, whether Pedro Neto actually is officially getting a hat trick or not, I guess is potentially still up for debate. We're not sure. Is he given the goal? Is he not? Is Hato giving it? Is there an own goal from the keeper? Who the flip knows? But we got a clean sheet. Like Dylan says, an easy and clean sheet with a hat-trick from Neto to get into the 5th round of the FA Cup. You really do always write like ChatGPT, but it is what it is. Neto is easily man of the match for his hat-trick. Yeah, I do agree. Big first goal. Bit fortunate second goal, let's be honest. Big third goal as well. So really good performance. Delap, even though he had a howler of the season or the century, really. We'll talk about his post-match interview as well. Still got 3 assists. How? I'm sure he doesn't know. Honestly, I don't even know how he assisted the first goal. I only paid attention to Neto's shot and not how he received the ball. But the second and the third assist were both very nice. So big ups to him. Estevao scored as well. Missed the howler as well. Almost did a Torres at Man United. But, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it. It's a 4-0 win. I want to talk about the lineup because I'm personally extremely surprised that we went as strong as we did. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. We've got a lot of people that have tuned in already from Lewis's stream. Big up everybody that has joined from Lewis's stream. Shout out Lewis as well, obviously. Big love, bro. He's obviously not here. But the fact that he sent you, I love him for that, and I love you for that. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get involved in the chat. I want to talk to you. I want to hear your opinions. What did you make of the team? What did you make of the lineup? What did you make of the performance? Because it was a weird kind of game. It was the type of game where you're not really looking at, oh, we did this tactically and we did that tactically and we were, you know, great from this minute to that minute. It was just the type of game you just needed to get through. You just needed to get over it. And you had to get the job done. And we did. And we did. Joey says, Derry looks excited. Yeah, he does. He does. Looks like he's Mudryk. Looks like we just changed Mudryk's name. But we didn't. Academy player, which is always exciting. So very happy that he got his debut today. Fabian Collins says, Neto doesn't think quickly enough on the wing and often breaks down attacks. Putting him close to the striker in the half space lets him focus more on shooting than passing. Honestly, maybe. Honestly, maybe as a shout. Because his shooting is actually quite decent. But from where he usually is positioned, he doesn't really get into good passing passing positions very often, does he? So maybe there is something to that. Maybe something to try in a more competitive, more serious game once. We'll see. We'll see. Dylan says, I don't know what happened to Cole Palmer, though. Well, he was rested today, bro. Or you're talking about the miss from the last game, because today it was obviously rested. He was never going to be involved today. But let me just change the screen. Let's bring up the lineup that we turn up with today, because I need to talk about it. I honestly could not quite believe my eyes when I saw how strong of a lineup we went with today. Genuinely. I couldn't really believe that that's how strong we went. Like, Reece James has been missing for so long now. Not super long, like, right? But he missed a fair few games through what was at first a knock and then an illness and whatever the hell it was. But first he misses Arsenal, both legs. For the first one, he was supposed to be only rested. For the second one, he was supposedly only rested. But then he plays against Hull City. Like, I'm very aware. You don't have to tell me. We don't have a midweek game next week. I know. We have 8 days because today is obviously only Friday. We have 8 days until our next game, which is the following Saturday against Burnley. So we've got plenty of time. I understand. But I still just absolutely did not expect Reece James to start today. I don't know. Like, I don't know about you guys, but it very much surprised me a lot. In general, like, obviously, because we don't have any midfield available, Enzo got a rest, but who else do you play other than Andre Santos and Caicedo at the moment? Like, who? Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't have anyone. Esugo is injured. Lavia is injured. We don't have any youth players anymore. We don't even have, like, Buonanotte to start in a game like this. So we went with Estevao in the 10, Pedro Neto on the right, Garnacho on the left, Liam Delap up front. A back four of Mamadou Sarr starting for the first time, making his debut for Chelsea, next to Fofana. Fofana's fine. Like, could you have gone with Achampong again? For me, he should have started over Reece James. But, you know, maybe more detail on that later. But Fofana obviously didn't start in the last game, so I don't mind him starting today. He's got another week off. Our centre-back situation isn't exactly exciting. And we saw Tosin coming on, returned from injury late in the game, and he could nearly cost us a goal already. Joel Hart, of course, at left-back, and also slightly surprisingly, Robert Sanchez in goal. And reasonable question by Tem. He says, where were Jurgensen and Guy today? Honestly, I have no idea where Guy was. No clue. Was he not on the bench? I didn't even honestly look, but the fact that Meuka came on tells me he wasn't. So I don't know what's going on with that. And Jurgensen is still injured. If you remember, he got injured in the last FA Cup game, wasn't it? But against Charlton, I think, in Rosenier's first game. Jurgensen had to come off and Sanchez came on for him. And ever since then, he's been injured. He should have potentially maybe made it back fit for today, but he wasn't. So, that's where Sanchez is. We know Rosenior doesn't have the final say on availability. I don't bother trying to figure out the Med staff permits to play. This is valid, but... And I think there's a big difference in a game like today and a game that matters. You know, like in a game that matters, even though I have my complaints about the teams against Arsenal or why did we rest all the players, fair enough. If that was the medical advice, they should know better. But just because Reece James is made available for today, there is yet another question whether he should still start today. Like, did we need Reece James today? We did not. Now, I don't know. I'm no doctor. I'm no physio. I would assume after a knock and after an illness, he would probably be benefiting quite a lot from having another week until the next game, having a full weeks of training, rather than playing today in the snow after he just come back from illness, supposedly. That's my only take, where I'm like, you know, just because he is available doesn't mean you need to start him against Hull City in the FA Cup. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because we've got Arsenal in 2 more games' time. If Reece James doesn't play against Arsenal again, I will riot. I will actually riot. And you know, not like an American way, like a proper European way, like a proper European riot. I'm obviously missing. But I just don't get it. I don't get why he had to start today. And he better be starting against Arsenal. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But otherwise, obviously, there wasn't much to do. We don't have anybody else. You know, Gittins is injured. Obviously, Palmer was never going to play again. João Pedro needed the rest urgently. Enzo needed a rest urgently. And who else do we have? Everybody else played anyway. Garnacho, Neto, Estevao. That's all. That's 3 of our 4 usual wingers. They all started. So, you know, that's that. And that's also why we won 4-0. But I'm still not like over the moon because realistically, it was barely 1-0 at halftime. It should have been 3 or 4 or 5. We should have smacked these lot harder than we did. But hey, we got the job done, which is good. Nobody seems to have gotten injured, which is also good. But yeah, I just didn't really understand why we needed to go so strong. But hey, in the end, it worked out. Nobody seems to have gotten injured. But only time will tell. You know, if in a week's time against Burnley, we're not starting, I don't know, Fofana, and then it's like, he picked up a slight knock or a slight strain in the last game. You're like, well, was that necessary? You know what I mean? One verse, though, with the comment. Thank you very much for getting involved, mate. He says, hello, Laurenz. Positives today. We scored 4 goals, had a clean sheet. Neto may be better at number 10 than we may be aware. Absolutely. He genuinely might be. But again, it's a championship team. I know they're a good championship team, but they rotated more than we did. That's another big thing. Hull City were further away from their best 11 today than we did. That's crazy. Like, their best player weren't even in the squad. He's not ill. He's not injured. He's just rested. Think about that. I don't even know if that's true, if I'm honest, but that's what I was told. I haven't checked it. So if I'm wrong on that, please tell me. But that's just fine crazy. Why did they rotate more? I mean, it makes sense. They're in a promotion fight from the championship. From getting promoted from the championship means everything to them. My commentator on German The Zone even said, like, the Hull City essentially even communicated that they don't even care. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's one of these. One verse, we'll get to your second comment in a minute. Tem says, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Though I think it was good to kill the game first. I mean, yes, you're right. There will always be someone that moans. If there was a too weak of a team, somebody would have moaned. But I will tell you, I would not have. I literally said this the last few weeks, or not even the last few weeks, but before the game, where I'm like, just see what happens. And yeah, exactly. If we can't start again against Arsenal, I will riot. Absolute crash out. One verse says, negatives for today seems only of Rosenior, Chelsea. Control a football game is back passing. It is becoming annoying. Since Maresca left, our team back passing seems to have gone up astronomically. I'm not sure I necessarily agree. I think we're a bit more adamant at forcing a press by passing it back to the centre-backs. A little bit more, maybe, but it's Hull City, man. Like it's a very different kind of. It's a very different kind of edge of a game. You know what I mean? Like very different kind of level. So I feel like it's not really comparable to most of the Prem games and stuff. EPL Turf says you should always start a strong 11, especially in a away game. Well, I'm not saying don't start a strong 11. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, why did you have to start Reece James? That's kind of my main complaint, if I'm honest, because we didn't really have much other choice in any other positions, if we're being honest. Of course, you could have started like Jerry, what's his name? I forget his name again. Hold up. Jesse Sean Derry, if you will. Of course, you could have started him, but that would have been a bit crazy. And then otherwise, we didn't have any options in midfield and the wing. So I get that. Just the Reece James one, I'm just not on board with, if I'm being totally honest. Why is that a thing? Again, they've rotated more than we did, which is still kind of wild, if I'm being honest. Still kind of wild. Now, we will look at some stats later. No, we will look at some stats now. I meant to say we will look at some quotes later. But let's look at an overview on FotMob. Obviously, we won the game 4-0. Now, officially, all 3 goals have been given to Pedro Neto. So very much fully earning his hat-trick. We had 76% possession. We scored the 4 goals from only 1.68 XG. I'm not surprised by that, except Estevao's miss and Delap's miss. That alone would have feels like it should be more than 1.68 XG. I can't even lie. But yeah, 3 great goals from Pedro Neto, of course. Honestly, Hull City had the XG as well. Hit the post at the very, very end. After Tosin's shocking defending, we had 13 shots compared to their 10. Honestly, I didn't feel like they had 10 shots. You can see the momentum. It was all us. But like I say, as it should be, when you look at the lineup. Like, we played near and other than Enzo Fernandez and Cucurella, but he's injured. So we essentially, like, maybe Cole Palmer and then João Pedro for the lap. It's the only, like, gap from our strongest team compared to what this is. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. But, yeah. Let's compare the first and the second half. Certainly the large majority of our XG in the first half, even though we scored the majority of our goals in the second half. So isn't that interesting? But there you go. Only 3 shots on target, but much more XG compared to 5 shots on target with less XG. A lot less XG as well when you think about it. So there you go. But there's no need to overdo it. I mean, like, it's just what it is. But we'll talk about the stats. And just, we can take a quicker look at it. In expected goals, like I say, 1.68 from just in total, but 1.63 of that was from open play, even though we actually scored a corner. So isn't that kind of mental? Like, we scored a corner, but we only had 0.05 XG from set play. It's kind of wild. But hey, it worked out for us, I suppose. It worked out for us. Tem says, we just gave 15 minutes as a warm-up before Arsenal. I mean, there is Burnley before that. Why not Burnley? You know what I mean? But there you go. Bit more nervous with how Rosenior likes his goalkeeper to play as centre-back. It's a little scary with Sanchez on the ball. I know he had like one slightly dodgy moment, but I thought it was more bad defending than bad goalkeeping, personally. Excuse me. I really did. So, I don't know how Rosenior. For me, it's not really a Rosenior problem. I think Sanchez is fine at the moment, and eventually, probably in the summer, Penders will come in anyway. He was an absolute god on the ball, so we'll be all right. One of us says, I think Rosenior is beginning to learn in a tough way. In any official game, you start your possible best 11. When game is secured, you can always rotate later. I'm still paying better 2-2 versus Brentford. Yeah, but this is a lower league opposition. Like, I want to reiterate again, I see what you are saying, but we have played so many games with so many players missing where we really needed it. And we're like, oh, we can trust our squad. But then we can't trust our squad against Hull City. You know what I mean? A couple of times I didn't like how we build up through the middle. We play such risky passes. Better opposition will rarely will concede. Because they did it a couple of times and lost it instead of going out wide. I mean, that's the game, though, isn't it? Really, like, for me at least, that it's like, there's always that middle ground. Do you go for the risky passes that you might lose sometimes? But if you pull them off, you break 2 lines, 3 lines, and it changes everything and it helps you create a chance? Or do you just keep it safe, play around the back, play it out wide, go back around the back, go back through the midfield, back to the side, back to the centre backs? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird because the fact that you bring this up surprises me in the sense that under Maresca, that was always the complaint. Or not under Maresca, on any manager, when it's like you're playing too slowly, you can't break down a low block. It's always about that. So I'm surprised at this criticism, if I'm honest, Tim, because isn't that what you want? Like, the idea is to be so good at those risky passes that even though they're risky, they're not getting intercepted. like, obviously, you try to move the opposition around, this and that, and every game's different in the sense of the lesser your opposition is, the more they're going to try to defend and everything, and the more, like, I guess, difficult it becomes to just create. The problem is Caicedo ain't great at it. Lavia is. But I don't know about that. Like, I'm not saying Lavia isn't, but Caicedo is also great at it. Maybe not as great, sure, but, you know. I mean, Caicedo should have had an assist with an absolute wonder ball for Garnacho today. You know what I mean? And then the rebound, Pedro Neto should have scored it. Still got a hat-trick, but he held that one, in my opinion. Let's get through these player ratings. Like I say, I don't want to be here for too long today. It's an FA Cup game. We move, we fly. But like I say, get involved in the chat, guys, in general. Also, hit the like button for me. Go down below and hit that like button for me right flipping now. Could you do that for me? Please do. Because every single like counts and helps me spread these streams out to more people. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the like button either, please do so as well. But yeah, let's get into these player ratings. Robert Sanchez. Not much to say. Kept the clean sheet. Made a couple of decent saves. Also had a couple of dodgy moments. So I'll give him a 6. Some people will probably say the 1 or 2 dodgy moments that he had are enough to give him below a 6. But I won't. I'm fine with that. Mamadou Sarr. Now, this guy, by the way, what a pass to Estevao. Before Estevao missed his absolute sitter, that pass by Mamadou Sarr was an absolute peach. What I find fascinating as well is he moves like Badiashile. It's as if that's his idol. Like, that's how he runs and moves. And he looks like equally as nonchalant and calm and stuff. But big difference, at least in the one game against the championship opposition so far, Sarr seems to be controlled, nonchalant, and laid back without fucking it up. So if that's who you are, plus a passing range like that, I'm here for it. He also seems massive and reasonably quick. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I will give him, I think for a debut, 7.5. I think if it wasn't his debut, probably just give him a 7. Before debut, 7.5. That's what I will say. Now, what did I see in the chat here? 1 second. One verse says, you may call me superstitious, but since Oswald, I buried at Stamford Bridge, no number 9 Irish strikers performed. The only players that excelled did not wear 9 jersey, Drogba, Costa. I mean, yeah. You're not wrong, in a way. I mean, there's been a few that were okay. You probably meant Osgood, not Osworld. That's a bit weird. Had me right confused there. But you know, if this was the superstition, why doesn't it work at away games? You know what I mean? Who am I cursing? Don't know who I'm cursing. But anyways, oh yeah, Mamadou Sarr, of course. Yeah, I don't want to curse it, but yeah, I was very happy with him. Big ups to this guy. Wesley Fofana, I thought he was good. Thought he was agile. Thought he was aggressive. Thought he was nice. Happy with that. Good defending at times. 7. You know, same as overall as Mamadou Sarr. Didn't have the wonder pass, but didn't have. Well, Sarr didn't do anything wrong, to be honest. He just gets 0.5 less. It is what it is. Jorel Hato, kind of scored, you know. Obviously, the second goal, all good, one verse, all good. The second goal from Pedro Neto, direct from the corner, it potentially hit Hato, but it didn't. But, you know, he was certainly involved in distracting everybody else. So, good job, Hato. I like him. I think he's doing better and better. I think he's starting to defend better and better. I like how aggressive he is. I like how that he looks quick. I'm feeling that more and more, that I see him being quick. Yeah, I like him. I'll give him a 7 as well. I thought it was decent. And I'm sure there's some things I missed. You know, I didn't pay the most closest of attention. I had food throughout the game. I had to set up the thumbnail, set up the stream towards the end when Derry was on the pitch and stuff like this. You see the point. Reece James, well, nearly fucked it up real bad at the beginning when he was trying to shield the ball, let it roll out of play, and all of a sudden another of their players turned up and just nicked it off him. Crossing, bit average, 6. Why is he gold? Oh, I named him man of the match earlier when I meant to make him captain. Sorry, I was always wondering why there was no captaincy for him. He's certainly not man of the match. Is it harsh of me, guys, now? Is it harsh of me to give Reece James a lesser rating? Yes, it is. But in this one game, I already preferred Sarr to Badiashile and Tosin. Well, we didn't see Badiashile today, but we did see Tosin, and we did certainly see why Mamadou Sarr is better than Tosin. So big up Mamadou. Also, I want to know, what is his nickname? Is it just Mama? Is it Do? I would Hat-trick for Jack Swagger, mate. Jack Swagger. Do people know Jack Swagger? Like, do kids nowadays, do they know who Jack Swagger is? Jack Swagger is weird guy, but I love the reference. So pick up Couture Criminal. Off assists. Yeah, very, very much so. Like I say, it's insane anyway. How often do you get in one and the same game 2 people getting an assist? Well, sorry, not 2 people getting an assist. 2 people getting a hat trick. Obviously, Neto with goals and Liam Delap with assists. Unfortunately, I can't give assist signs here. I somehow should, but I can't. So what can I do? Why do you give me cards but not assists? You know, I feel like yellow cards seem a lot less relevant than assists. Don't we think? Like, why not just add the assist option? But anyway, let's move on to Moi Caicedo. Had a phenomenal, fantastic interception, I think at 2-0, where they definitely would have scored from a cross, and he did fantastically well to block it. Otherwise, didn't really notice him that much, if I'm honest. I don't have the switch option available right now. Well, I do, but would have to change around too many things. But Caicedo, 73 out of 81 passes. Honestly, could be a bit better than that. 2 out of 3 dribbles, though. 1 out of 3 tackles. 4 out of 5 ground duels. I'm happy with that, chat. I mean, let's not overdo it. By his very high standards, I'll give him a 6.5. You know what I mean? Don't think it was phenomenal. Don't think it was bad. That's what it is. Tell me, why did he raise his hand when the ball clearly crossed the line? Clearly didn't cross the line, I guess, but we'll get to that. Yeah, didn't. I will show Liam Delap's interview, or the quotes of it anyway. Andre Santos, I don't really know. I saw him slip once. That wasn't good. But he certainly had the ball a lot more than Caicedo, because he had 112 passes out of 124 compared to Caicedo's, what was it? 81. So that's 40 more. That's wild. Same accuracy in total, but obviously a lot more attempted. 1 out of 2 shots on target. Nearly scored a header in the game. Great save by the goalkeeper. 1 out of 2 dribbles. 4 out of 8 ground duels. 4 out of 4 aerial duels. He loves the aerial. He's not even tall, but my God, is he good in the air. Fair play, Andre Santos. You know what? I'll give Andre Santos a 7. Is that harsh on Caicedo? Maybe. But I also don't want to be boring and just give everyone a 7. Do you know what I mean? So I'll keep it at that. Garnacho could have scored. I don't think it was shocking. I give him a 6. The less said, the better. I mean, does anybody have anything to say about Garnacho? Think about it, guys. Surely not. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do I have to say about him today? He did nothing. But also not in a shocking way. Completed the most dribbles in a match with 6. That's pretty good. He won the most duels in the match with 10. Excuse me? 9 out of 13 duels Alejandro Garnacho won. Ground duels, that is. And 1 out of 2 aerials. Fair fucking play. Alejandro Garnacho. What a stat. You know what? I need to quickly grab a screenshot here and send this to my group chat, because that is pretty wild. That is pretty damn wild that he did that. I mean, did anybody think that's what happened? Because I certainly didn't see it. So I guess I have to give him a bit more than a 6. I feel like I still don't want to give him a 7. Hopefully we keep Garnacho. Well, we ain't got him on loan, so unless we sell him, we're keeping him. You think Hato was mid? Nah. What did he do wrong? But if you explain to me, you might convince me. So tell me. Maybe I forgot something. Absolutely no problem. I quickly... you guys probably think this is weird, but I need to. I absolutely need to. What's also funny, Pedro Neto has scored a career hat-trick before Bukayo Saka did, which is quite funny. So... yeah. Anyway, Estevao. I mean, what a miss. Again, what a pass from Mamadou Sarr. What a pass from him. What a touch from Steve. And then he nearly did a Torres. I mean, he was kind of stumbling, right? He was kind of stumbling, and then the ball was bouncing. Terrible pitch. He just got under it and just put it over. It's just weren't good. He overran the ball, was really clumsy in possession, constantly targeted. Let me look at it. I mean, he had 91% passing accuracy, 53 out of 58. Sounds pretty good to me. Okay, 0 out of 3 dribbles ain't great. Oh, okay. I need to change. He had 1 out of 11 ground duels. Excusez-moi, Mr. Couture. 5.5. Because 1 out of 11 ground, you know what? Nah, 1 out of 11 ground duels, even if stats don't mean everything, 1 out of 11 ground duels is a disgrace as a defender, and that's pathetic. So I've changed that. Yeah, fair play to you. changed my mind. Well, you made me look at the stats, and that mostly changed my mind. So there you go. Hope Quenda guy coming next season. Our left wing position seems to be worse than the centre back position now. Garnacho is just a daylight nightmare. Yeah, I feel like people are always a bit over the top with Garnacho, if I'm honest. We just looked at how positive stats he had. But I see what you're saying. And hopefully Quenda will be him. Absolutely. Hopefully Quenda will be him. Now let's get back to Estevao. What a miss. The goal, obviously, he didn't have much to do. Delap finally set that one up for him. He should have set another one up for him earlier already, but he didn't. Of course he didn't. So that was a problem. But yeah, Steve, what do I do with him? Let's just look at some stats, shall we? Look at some stats. You know what? You know how all of you guys are saying Neto was in the 10. I feel like that was very much, sometimes Neto was the 10, sometimes Estevao was the 10, but all of you seem very adamant that Neto is so good as a 10, so maybe I should also put him in the 10, huh? Maybe I should be doing that. So, yeah, in terms of stats for Steve, 32 out of 35 passes is good. 1 out of 2 shots on target. 4 out of 6 dribbles is nice. 1 or 2 long balls. 4 out of 9 ground duels. I'll take it. Nothing special. Nothing outrageous. 7. Because otherwise for the goal, I might give him 7.5 or 8. But with the miss, I can't give him higher than that. I cannot. I want to keep Neto to last. So Liam Delap. Obviously, the shocking miss. I will quickly straight away. Let's not even muck about. I will get his the quote up. The quote from after the game, because it's kind of funny. So where is it? I'm sure we'll see more. But this is Liam Delap's comment on the howler moment that he went through, produced, and turned up with. Liam Delap in the post-match interview said, "I swear on my life, I thought it went in. I should have just scored and was silly from me, but I thought it went in." As for the comment earlier, how did he think it went in? I don't know. But I mean, he was on the line and some of the ball was over the line. So, you know what I mean? It happens. So, unfortunate. He recognized it was a bit silly. But what annoyed me most is that even when he realized, okay, the goal isn't counting, rather than then just squaring it to Estevao for an easy tap-in, he decided to go round the goalkeeper when he was stood still. It was crazy. Excuse me? I ain't having that. I absolutely am not having that. I am one of the biggest fans Moise Caicedo has ever had in his whole life. Right? I'll tell you that much. Just because I didn't think it was absolutely fucking amazing against a championship team, when he had half the touches of his midfield partner, don't mean I have an agenda, mate. What is that? Randy? Yes, I am. Just because I've been critical of him recently when he's been poor and he's been suspended for 5 or 6 games this season already with stupid sendings off and suspensions and whatever. Nah, do you know what I mean? I am no Caicedo hater. Like I say, half the touches of his teammate, and I praised this one good moment. Not having that. The referee was terrible. Garnacho clearly got fouled on the back post. Yeah, I agree. Referee was not good. No, he wasn't. But do you expect that in this type of game? I wouldn't say so. Hold up. This is one of the Caicedo hater channels with Agenda 6.5 putting all the blame on him last game. Well, all the fucking blame was on him last game. What are you on about? What can I do? It's not my fault. Enzo cameo ended on pivot aside from his decent pass to Estevao. He didn't look great when he was in build-up. What happened to Enzo when he first joined? Don't overdo it, bro. We were 4-0 up. It's just seeing out a game. Don't take things like that too seriously. Like, I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm saying don't read too much into a game like this. Reece has forgotten to be a right back. Yeah, he did a little bit. You noticed that. Like, the positions, when to overlap, the crossing, it wasn't quite there. But there you go. No, she lied to himself. I'm him. But I'm not lying to myself. He was clearly the main guy at fault. We were 2-0 up until he gave a stupid penalty away. That was a clear foul. I don't know how some people claim it wasn't a foul. It was a clear foul. It was clear contact from knee to knee. It's a clear penalty. And that's what kicked everything off. That's what kicked it. No shame. Okay, fair enough. But that's what kicked the whole thing off. And then he was involved in a shit show defending for the 2-2 as well. So what do you mean, man? What do you mean? Any which way. Liam Delap is who I was talking about. Howl in the beginning. I don't have it ready now to bring up the picture. You all know what I'm talking about. Unfortunate, of course. Really deserved the goal in the end, really. But the 3 assists, again, I don't remember the first assist. Not sure how he got the ball to Pedro Neto. I think it was just literally an easy pass. As was the third goal, but that was a nice layoff in a crowded area, opening Pedro Neto up for a lovely little shot. And of course, the assist for Estevao as well, which he did well on. So, yeah. No? Am I waffling? Yeah. It must be. Yeah. The assist for Estevao. Oh, yeah, of course. That was the good assist, man. My brain's fried. Of course. Over the top ball from Neto, actually. Good hold-up play. Goes past the defender. Shocking defending, if we're being honest. Rolls him. And then just rolls it. As the goalkeeper attacks him, he rolls it back to Estevao. Just taps it home. Because of the assists, I will give him an 8. Is honestly maybe a little bit too high, if I'm honest, for his actual performance. But you don't get 3 assists every day, so I'll give him an 8. And Pedro Neto, I will give a 9. 3 times 3 is 9. He scored 3 goals. I'm not sure where the 3 multipliers coming from, but I'm giving him a 9. It was the championship team. The second goal in particular was barely his. I can't give, and he missed a sitter early, so I'm not giving him more than a 9. But a 9 he's fully deserving of. Absolutely. He gets man of the match. Of course he does. And very much deserved. I agree with you on that, Randy. Excuse me. Palmer did not get a miss. I was... No. Again, Randy, I agree that Caicedo kind of half made up for it, but that doesn't change realities and facts that his given away penalty and part of his terrible defending led to being from 2-0 up to 2-0. Football is a team sport. Football is a team sport. It's part of the game, you know? Just like Palmer fucked the redemption up for Moises Caicedo, that's how Moises Caicedo fucked it up for the whole entire team by giving a penalty away. You know? It's a team sport. It's not just Palmer fucked up, Caicedo is saved. No, we didn't score, neither one is saved. That's what it is, mate. That's what it is. Am I out here giving Mamadou Sarr a 9 for a pass that Estevao didn't score? No, I didn't. Palmer plays for himself. Just to salvage his fading chances to go to the World Cup. You don't like him. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I mean, sometimes there's a little bit of selfishness to it. But that's literally how he made a career. You know? He was also selfish on the pitch. But everybody else agreed that everybody else was shit, so he did everything himself and he scored all the time. You know? It's one of these. Exactly. How about the attackers not scoring? I'm just killing the game. Bro, we did. We were 2-0 up. We had just gone and killed the game. We had just gone from 1-0 to 2-0. 5 minutes later, we conceded because of a stupid penalty. Just in when we were good, just when we were now we killed the game, your boy Caicedo gave the penalty away. That's literally how it happened. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake. Anyways, don't be telling me I have a Caicedo agenda. Disagree with me if you want, but don't be telling me I have an agenda. Delap, okay, at 7.5. That miss in the early game was too crazy. Maybe I agree with you, to be honest. Yeah, you know what? I do. Even though, obviously, he did get the block in himself of what nearly went in and was really unfortunate not to go in. And he obviously was sure that it did go in, which obviously changes the situation. No, he wasn't. He always made the right decision. Now he ignores teammates and takes too long on the ball. Yes, sometimes I agree with that. I think a lot of that is the injury that he's carrying with, and I think people like yourself in a situation like this don't give him enough credit with that. He's playing injured, and you need to do that as well. It's like, as we know, it ain't the player's decision when they play or not. You know what I mean? Pedro is a better than the Palmer. I mean, fair enough, bro. We've not seen Pedro Neto play this in an actual game, but Palmer thinks he's better than us. I disagree with that completely. I really don't think he thinks that. But fair enough. Randy, by the way, if anybody's got an agenda, Couture Criminal is your guy. But there you go. Now, of course, we made some subs as well. The subs played a while because we made a double substitution after an hour. Enzo Fernandez came on for Moy Caicedo. I'll just write it down like this, you know what I mean? I'm not going to give the subs a rating. Enzo came on for Caicedo. Achempong came on for Reece James, which was also reasonable. Now, they're not gonna have Jesse Derry in there, are they? They're not gonna have Jesse Derry on this app. So Tosin came on for Fofana later on after 77 minutes. Again, I'm not sure if this is a good thing. Like, obviously, I'm happy for him not to be injured, but If Tosin gets minutes, that's usually a stinker for Chelsea. Unfortunately, it is. Milk at the end for Delap, and of course Jesse Derry for Estevao. Jesse Derry. How are we going to do that? Derry. Yeah, I mean Jesse Derry. See, we're just going to call him Jesse Derry, and that's it. And the same issue is probably for Milka, isn't it? Wait, did I spell his name right? Meuka. Yes, I did. And that's why it's good that I'm only adding them as subs, because they don't need a picture. They don't need a picture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time. We don't wrap this up yet. We go to the post-match quotes. I'll quickly head over to Dodger's Twitter because he's the best for post-match quotes. So I will make that big and highlight that for you. We can go through them together, and then slowly but surely we will wrap it up. So you can already see, my bad. Liam Delap on the chant here in the first half. We kind of read it already from Pice's quote. I swear on my life, I almost ran off. I thought it went in. I was waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. It was silly for me, but I thought it was in. There you go. It's one of these. We came here with one task, and that was to win. We showed we can battle and also play some good football, so we're happy. Pedro Neto is an incredible player. He's playing in a position he's not even used to, but he showed his quality. At number 10, of course. Liam Rosenior on the arrests. Without knowing what has happened, I don't know. Any discriminatory language is unacceptable. I honestly don't know what happened. There was some discriminatory chants from Hull at Chelsea, I think. Probably the Rent Boy chant, right? Presumably. I don't know if people were arrested. Fair enough. Liam Rosenior on Pedro Neto's display. The overall positive was the application of the team, the pressing, the work rate. Pedro exemplifies that. They're outstanding professionals against a very good team. This isn't an easy game. No, it isn't. Brilliant. Liam Rosenior, Marco Correa, he's not fit. There's an issue with his hamstring. I can't give you a time frame at the moment. So that means he's probably not going to be out for super long, but it probably means he's also not going to be fit for Burnley. Hopefully he makes the Arsenal game. Liam Rosenior on some of the hate Neto gets. I'm aware of it. I'm not aware of it. Okay, that makes more sense. I don't know why that would be the case, because Pedro Neto gives us so many qualities. He's a world-class player, a world-class winger, what he sacrifices for the team all the time. I do agree that his sacrifice is often goes unnoticed. Liam Rosenior, Cole Palmer's absence, obviously just managing minutes. We know that. Liam Delap. Top to be a number 9 in the system we play. It's not always about yourself. He brings people into play and makes sacrificial runs. It's nice in a way that you're singling so many players out, because it must mean it was a top performance. That is good. Liam Rosenior, whether he expected that reception from Hull fans, you never know. I didn't really think about it. I'll always have a special feeling for this club, regardless of how I was received today. Did he get booed? Did he? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Did Liam Rosenior get booed by the Hull fans? If so, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is that behavior? So Jesse Derry's dad was the one who got his glasses taken off by Cunha. What? His glasses taken off by Cunha? Did I miss something? What? I mean, I know he played for like Palace and QPR, I think, Sean Derry. But there you go. Jackson was the reason Palmer had one good year, but dragging defenders, link-up play, it's no coincidence. Palmer's level dropped once Jackson started getting benched last season. I mean, I've been constantly saying that we needed to keep Jackson, so I don't know what you want. Nah, I'm being too harsh now, Randy. Obviously, there is a correlation because they had a great understanding and a great link-up, absolutely. But there's also a great link-up between João Pedro and Palmer. You can tell, you can already smell it and feel it. I mean, like, Palmer's good. Let's not hate on our own players, man. Like, I know I'm critical sometimes and I overdo it sometimes, but really, Palmer? I say Caicedo cost us one game, as did Palmer, by the way, both of them. But you guys are talking about Palmer as if he's just permanently shit and you don't like him, you don't rate him, he never did anything for us. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm just saying Caicedo had bad form. And you're saying I have the agenda. But look how you guys are talking about Palmer. What is this? I still don't think Caicedo's tackle. Well, it was clearly a penalty. I'm sorry. I don't have to go further now. The slow-mo tells you nothing. No, he didn't stamp on the player, but he collided knee on knee. And that made him foul in the box. Like, it's just to check if that game was in the Champions League, may not be a penalty. Bro, in the Champions League, they whistle much harder than in the Premier League. If anything, in the Champions League, it would have been guaranteed to be a penalty. No, bro. That is a blatant penalty. Ipswich was Wolves last season. What? Wait, you're saying he still plays now, Sean Derry? Is that what you're saying? Or was he manager? I'm confused. It could have gone either way. It's close call, but it's Caicedo's. The refs are targeting him. Another player doesn't get penalized for that challenge. Uh-huh. I didn't know that part. See? You never stop learning. You never stop learning. Thank you very much for that input, Couture Criminal. I still can't believe anybody's trying to say that Caicedo's tackle wasn't a penalty. I agree some of his red cards sometimes weren't red cards compared to when you see other things like Foden, whatever, recently. My cat's going mental. So we're going to wrap this stream up in a second. This stream? The cat's screaming instead. So, yeah, is there anything else that I need to look at? I will take a quick look. Has Pi said anything particularly interesting? I don't know. Correa's not fit. We know that, or we heard that. We talked about it. I mean, I guess we can talk about this. We're scoring a lot of goals, right? Like, that is not up for debate. So far in the Rosenior 11 matches, 8 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Of course, the 2 losses against Arsenal. Really, the second one was obviously at least a draw, but obviously the goal at the end after we threw everything forward. The draw on the weekend, which really shouldn't have been, it was not on Rosenior. 8 wins in general, 28 goals scored, 30 conceded, which is obviously way too much, 13 conceded. But 28 goals scored in 11 matches played. It's fantastic. Even if that included 2 games against lower league oppositions, that is a fantastic record. So our goal scoring is brilliant. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in, to everybody that has done from the beginning to the end. If some of you were here for the whole time, even if I disagree with you, Randy, and sometimes Couture Criminal, thank you very much for participating, for talking to me, for making the stream and the show entertaining. Appreciate you very much. Everybody else that was active in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Why is Rosenior not giving you a chance at all? I don't know. Maybe he was unavailable for some reason. We haven't seen it touched on it. I'm glad you thought so, Randy. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on your way out. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, upwards and onwards, and I will see you next time.